insights. So when you move through this level of culture change, like culture is what you repeatedly do, right? So for those of us in enablement or learning roles, this is where like the rubber hits the road for us. So in terms of learning new hybrid norms, adopting new mindsets, getting teams to, set up new routines and practices is a big piece of implementing this sort of work. So I'll throw to you now, Eilís, because you're actually in the eye of the storm around this. Actually, you're on the other side of launch and you're scaling now. So you've got lots to share on this topic around enablement. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so just for some context, at Bravura, we are a global fintech of about 1,500 employees, but much of our experimentation around hybrid work has been focused on our team in New Zealand, mainly because up until relatively recently, they were the team that enjoyed the longest period of uninterrupted freedom from lockdowns, but that has changed in recent months. But I think before I can speak to habits and practices, I need to give a mention to the hybrid fit mindsets that we co-designed with our people, because they really did form the foundations of the norms, the habits, and the practices that followed. Before we even looked to launch any formal enablement initiatives, our primary goal was to simply socialize the mindsets at every possible given opportunity, and just to ensure that people were familiar with them first and foremost, even just as concepts. Our enablement initiatives were then designed to take them from concepts on a page to a more tangible experience. So our next step was ensuring that our people managers were clear on their role in leading the change. And we achieved this with the support of Nick and Emma through a bit of a change leadership bootcamp, which focused on creating a shared vision of the future state and the behaviours needed to get there from our leaders. And what I find was really effective is we wrapped up our bootcamp session with participants, each sharing a commitment to their peers around how they will embrace the learning ahead. And I felt that really helped set a really positive tone of accountability as we moved into the next phase, which was activating the mindsets in our broader teams. Enablement for us was really quite a blended experience. So on one hand, we had structured facilitated sessions using Miro, of course, but we also had a broader 30, 60, 90-day calendar of touch points with opportunities for people to learn by doing. And just to give a bit of an example of how this approach worked for us in practice, one of our enablement sessions focused on well-being, which I'm sure is something we can all agree has never been a more critical conversation. But during these sessions, we introduced a series of tools, and we used breakout rooms just as a way to experiment with trying them on for size. These tools range from things like setting team norms to running retrospectives, to something as simple as effective as using emojis to kickstart a conversation about team wellness in a way that felt comfortable to those who aren't as familiar with leading that kind of conversation. So that was what was covered in the classroom component, but as part of our 30, 60, 90-day plan, we also had a series of team health checks scheduled where managers were tasked with running a bit of a reflective team health monitor exercise within their teams using the tools that they tried on previously. And by doing this, we really stretched our managers, but in a very safe way. And we were also laying the foundations for continuous improvement and for habits to be formed by ensuring that these team health checks are now something that are expected as a quarterly ritual. But I'd say that we are still very much on that enablement journey. So we are the other side of launch, but I think enablement is going to be something that it's just going to be an ever evolving journey for us. And something that's really emerged is the need for a new brand of leader with a very particular set of skills, as Liam Neeson would say. So the next phase of our enablement has really involved working with them and Nick at Anywhere Culture to evolve our more traditional management development program into Anywhere Leadership, which is built around our hybrid mindsets and ensuring that our leaders are confident leading healthy, connected, supported teams, regardless of where they're working from.
So good. And recently you should follow Eilís or look her up on LinkedIn. You posted recently about quite heartfelt your learnings as a practitioner as you move through a lot of this for the first time yourself. What's a heads up that you could give people to either lean into or watch out for or stood out for you?
I think you don't believe everything you think. So this was the first project that we ran as co-design, and we really had everything that we believed about what our people wanted and needed from our culture really shaken. And that's because we really got under the hood with the empathizing phase of the project. So I think just getting used to being wrong was quite a challenge for us, but it's put us in good stead. But feedback, I mean, just feedback at every possible touch point is a gift, and it just makes sure that the outputs that we're delivering are reflective of what people have told us they want to see, and it's just completely free of assumptions.
That's so cool. Thank you, Eilís.